Today we're going to work on turning the doorknobs in your feet. One of my YouTube followers asked me what I meant by that, and Master Ting is the one that used that verbiage, and it's a way of you connecting your feet to all of your Tai Chi movements. All Tai Chi initiates in the feet. So you're just going to be along with me as I teach a couple students here about how to rotate from the feet so that all of your Tai Chi starts from the feet, goes up through the thighs. The dantian sort of is the steering wheel. It tells you where to take it, and then it flourishes in the hand. So let's take a look at what this looks like with a simple partner drill. We'll do a simple one such as brush knee. And so you just have your partner grab you any way that they want. I'm going to release my bottom arm a little bit. And the first time I'm going to just try to move him through muscle effort, and I'm just trying to move him towards the camera. So I try muscle effort and that doesn't work. The next time I'm going to be in song and try to release my tension as much as possible. And that already had an effect on him, a very subtle effect. And then I turn from the doorknobs in my feet, meaning that I'm turning the earth with my feet and keeping all my alignment and structure as I do, so that it initiates from my feet, and I turn it. Okay, so that wasn't too effective, so I'll try it again. And then go. Yes, so that was a little bit better. Now, the third thing that you need to add is the spiraling of the bones. So when we do brush knee, you'll see very oftentimes that it's sort of done in a very linear, flat way. And really, there should always be a spiral. So for brush knee, if you want to try it with me, you have your hand, the pinky is critical in this. And so as we step and we unwind, then we come up and we unwind. So the pinky leads up, down. It's like you have a ball in your hand. This hand is facing away from you. You drop that elbow down and roll the ball towards your face. So now this ball is away. So pinky goes, so the bottom one is up like that. Up. Drop the elbow, see the ball's facing away, and then as you rotate your spine, you rotate the ball. That's right. So now your bottom hand, the ball's facing away, float it up. Yeah. Drop the elbow down. Float it up. So it feels kind of contrived at first, but there's a function for this. This is really exaggerated internal bone rotation. Okay, good, so relax. So then when I'm doing brush knee, whether it's yang style or whatever, there is this unwinding. Okay, so we're going to add that now to the turning of the doorknobs with our feet. So we're turning the doorknobs with our feet, meaning turning the earth with your feet, and your body becomes sort of the gear shaft, and then it spirals out to the bones. And let's see what happens with that, okay? So same thing, and I'm in the frame here. Yeah, so I'm going to kind of preload that spiral. So the pinky's facing me, and this pinky's facing me. My elbows are down, I'm in song, and then I connect to the feet, and as I rotate my body, my arms rotate with it. And that had a bigger effect on you.
Much bigger, yes.
Yeah, okay. How did that feel different to you?
Well, it's twisting my arms at the same time I'm being pushed, so yeah, I have to let go.
You have to let go, okay. Good. Now the last part of this is the spiral is connecting to the fascia. Let's come over here a little bit, and then I'll do Julie. Someone actually my size. Okay, so I preload here, and then you can grab it a little harder. And what I'll do is, I'll start my spiral from my feet. You can see it's already having an effect on him. And once I capture his fascia, Yeah. So tell me, what did that feel like, or what happened?
It feels like my feet aren't solid anymore.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. So I hope you could see the progression. When I first tried to move him, it was pretty hard to move him, even just when I was turning the doorknobs of my feet. Then when I added the bone rotation, he moved a little easier. And then this last time, he moved even more easily. And I actually thought maybe you were backing off on your resistance.
No, it wasn't.
See, it is real. Okay, let's try that again. So if you want to try this, you face your partner, make them in a shallow stance to make this reasonable. You're in a shallow stance. They grab a hold of your wrist, and then you kind of preload, meaning that I'm beginning my spiral at its end range, or just short of the end range. My pinky's facing me here, my pinky is facing my dantian here. And then as I turn the earth with my feet, I begin turning the bones with my feet. Then there's a point where I can capture his fascia. Right there, I've got his fascia. And then I just connect to his joints and get under his feet, and then I can just finish the movement. That was so cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely feel it in my lower legs, my feet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to do it to Julie. You know, I never get to practice with somebody my own size. So thank you, Julie, for doing this. Okay, so she's grabbed a hold, and again, we're in brush knee, and she's got a pretty wide stance there. And actually, let's switch it so we'll go towards the camera.
Okay.
We'll be more, there you go.
There you go.
All right. And so the first part is I'll try to move her just with muscle resistance. And I want you, when you're trying this with your partner, do these steps so they can feel the difference and you can feel the difference. So I just try to move her with muscle resistance. And even though she's smaller than me, she's very strong. Okay. Now the second one is I'm going to be in song and I have to release my tension. Do you see how that changed her posture? And then I'll turn the earth with my feet while keeping my internal bone structure aligned, and so then I can move her really easily. It's fun to practice with somebody my size. Okay, now I'm going to preload that spiraling. So I'm converting the rotation at the feet through my spine and then through the bones of the distal part of my body. So pinky's towards me, pinky's towards my dantian, and it's already kind of compromised your grip, hasn't it?
Yes.
It's like a awkward position.
It is.
And then I act like, as I turn under my feet, like maybe that's a gear, and then my spine is the gear shaft, and then there's more gears here in my bones. And so I'm just simply rotating all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Much more powerful that way.
Was it? Yeah,
Yeah.
it took you further.
Yeah.
And I actually used a lot less effort. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Definite
interesting.
difference.
And then the final one is to connect it to the fascia. So one of the reasons we spiral in Tai Chi is to capture the fascia of the other person. So she's grabbing hold tightly. As I spiral, I can take up the slack in her palm of her hand, and that allows me to capture her fascia. Then I'll connect it to her joints. And at this point, then I get under her feet and I can move so easily. How was that different?
You didn't seem to be putting much effort into it, but
Yeah.
it was definitely stronger.
Yeah. So it felt stronger to you,
It
but
felt stronger.
but less
But
force coming in.
less force coming from you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. All right, now, questions. Say that again?
So the weight on your feet is mostly here?
No, that's a great question. It's distributed, you know how a footprint in the sand looks? That's where you're distributing your weight.
Evenly.
Evenly.
Okay.
Even your toes, there should be a little bit of toe prints there. It's not like we're clenching the ground, but the toes are involved. So our toes need to be touching the earth. And then the doorknob is the part of the footprint that you can't see.
Okay.
It's like the doorknob is, your foot is
The arch.
nestled. Yeah, the arch is nestled right over the doorknob. And so the whole foot is engaged.
If you have flat feet, it might be different from what the way that you do it.
Yes, but the mechanics of rotation
Yeah,
is
it's
still
the
the same.
same.
Yeah, so whether you have flat feet or you have ankle eversion, inversion, you still want to have that feeling of turning the earth with your feet.
And are you also coming down? It feels like you're coming down on this arm.
Right, because brush knee, it has a little bit of a down trajectory. So then that's another quality that we can actually add to this. Woo. One drill, so many things. One posture, so many things. Sorry, yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to, I'm going to see if I can do this. So I will add a quality of An in my bottom arm, which is a heaviness, and a quality of Peng in the upper arm to add to everything, plus the turning and the spiraling. I won't do the fascia. So as I set up myself, I'm going to release and make heavy here. You feel it?
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm Peng here.
Yes, I can feel that.
And what is that doing to you?
It's putting me off balance this way.
And then all I have to do is just follow that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I could feel that.
You could feel the difference.
Yes.
And so this is a type of splitting force that's not related to fascia, but is related to what we do. And I find that when I'm practicing, whether it's waving hands in clouds or brush knee or whatever the form is, if I assign An and Peng, my structure, boom, goes right into place. Could you feel a difference in my structure, or you just felt the effect?
I think I just felt the effect. I couldn't really tell, but I definitely could feel the effect of the difference.
Yeah, and how it was starting to tilt you?
Started to tilt me.
Yeah,
Yes.
interesting. Okay, let's see if I can do this with this guy over here. All right. Okay, we'll switch it. Is that switched from what we were doing? Are we in the camera? I feel like.
There you go.
Okay. All right, so I'm in position for brush knee. This lesson is about rotating the doorknobs in your feet to initiate, and the axis being through the spine. And then we've added a few things like fascia connection and the bone spiral to get effectiveness. Now we're going to add quality. So I'm going to release and make heavy this arm. What do you feel?
I feel it's heavy. Yes. Yes, and this is going up.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't even really gotten to my Peng. So it's An and Peng. And your posture is sort of squished on this one side.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning that way because of it.
Yeah, this one's Peng. So I should, now I'm going to try to get on, yeah, now you're moving. Yeah, so then I go with it. So another part of the equation when you do practice is really, you're taking care of yourself, but you also have to notice subtle changes in your partner. I think one of the common errors is that somebody will, come on in, you'll be working with your partner and you're so involved in, okay, am I on, am I song, am I Peng, that you're missing the fact that he's got a postural change that you can move into. And so you have to be sensing your own body, but then observing the other and move when that opening happens. Otherwise, you're waiting and you're trying to get all the check boxes and the partner is starting to melt and you miss it. Yeah. Questions?
Oh, I got it. It's good.
Okay. All right. So this all started from turning the doorknobs in your feet, using brush knee as your mechanism to do a partner practice. So if you don't have a partner, then just try these in solo, because that's where it starts. So first, rotating the earth with your feet and keeping your axis in alignment. And then with brush knee, taking that rotation and it spirals through all of your bones. So as you rotate, you have a spiral going on throughout the whole body. And sometimes for me, being mindful of my pinky helps. So my pinky is Peng on this hand, and my pinky is on this hand. And I spiral, spiral, spiral. And when I first started trying to learn this, I stopped at 12 o'clock and I found a 12 o'clock position. 12 o'clock straight forward, so pinky straight forward, pinky straight down. That's my halfway point. So it was very mechanical and external at first. And then at the end range, I wanted to be wound up so that the tendons and ligaments are tightened, but no muscle tension. And then I would come back and I would get to my 12 o'clock I'd pause for a moment, and then I would finish it out. So it's just learning that mechanics. And then eventually, you connect it to the feet. So my feet, I'm going to really exaggerate it. My feet are the instigator of the change and the movement. So I'll try to exaggerate the wave. Could you see that? I can always tell, either looking at YouTube Tai Chiers or my own students, whether they're initiating from the feet or whether they're initiating from the arms. So it's feet, through that axis, out the hands. Feet. So I'm super exaggerating it. Then we added the quality of connecting to the fascia through this spiral. So I'm just creating a little bit of taking up the slack. Sorry, I switch it for the camera. Taking up the slack in her palms. So the person, yes, they have to be resisting you, first of all. And you just, as you spiral a little bit, I'm going to preload it. I've captured, you feel it?
Yes.
Yeah, I capture the fascia by taking up the slack in her palms, and then I feel her elbows and her shoulders, and I just work down under her feet. Yeah, there
Yeah,
she
I can
is.
feel it going back.
Yeah. Okay, and then once we have that, then we also added An, which is a heaviness here, and Peng here, and that divided her body. So she kind of wants to go that way. Yeah. So that's sort of 4 lessons all rolled into one, but with one simple movement that you could practice those on. So give that a try. If you like my videos, please consider becoming a member of my channel. That helps support me to continue making these free videos for you. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video.